Hi everybody, my name is Max Maker and this week I'm building a packaging cart for pallets. Some of you might know that I have a business of designing, making and selling these super long drawer slides for recreational vehicles. I ship them completely pre-assembled on pallets, so improving the packaging is always a goal. So this is one of my smallest models. I've got 5 other ones that are bigger, and I get a pallet out of the pallet rack right there, put on the floor, put the item on top, I put it on end so the square footage is a little bit less, so the shipping is cheaper. And now I have to secure it with some webbing. And the webbing I used to store over here. And didn't even realize how much work it was to walk over here all the time to get it until I really looked at it and thought about, what takes so long to strap this stuff down. And I need these buckles, I need 2 of them per pallet. So sometimes I forget one and I have to walk back and forth. Let me put this back in here. You need some pliers. These are beautiful pliers from Fujiya from Japan to cut this stuff. This works, but I found something even better than this. So I found these spring-loaded scissors and they just cut stuff amazingly well and very quickly because you don't have to open them up with your pinky anymore. They just open up on themselves, and that's the perfect tool to cut this webbing. Then I also need some of this tape, and I used to have to, get the tape from the workshop, bring it over there where I package the stuff, and then I forget something like the pliers, so I have to walk back and forth. And that's just, adding a ton of time to the whole process. I also need a little marker to write down who the pallet is for, and of course some shrink wrap, like this stuff over here. I want to have everything at hand over there, so I stop wasting all this time. So I'm building a little packaging cart for it. And this is a webbing box at the end of its life. You see it's totally, busted. And sometimes it gets stuck and it falls down. So I want to make something much nicer. So I came up with this box, and that's what I'm building today. Here we will have the webbing, here the tape, here the place for the foil, and down here for the little buckets. And I can add the tools here on the sides probably. So I made this little list, and this is the cut list. So let's start cutting stuff. This year I spent a lot of time on improving the workflow in the workshop, and one of those things was this height adjustable desk. It's just a standard desk and it's great for an outfeed table for the table saw. I'm using Baltic birch plywood for this project because I had it left over, and first I ripped it to length, then I cut smaller pieces that are more manageable, and then I run them across the table saw again. And I have this trick where I give the table saw a kickstart. You have to be really careful doing this, but that way it doesn't trip the breaker. So I always make sure my hands are far away from the blade. And it's things like this that are small investments. It takes me maybe a day to build something like this, but they will pay off for years and years to come, because every day I'm packaging some pallets and it just adds up over time. So fix what bugs you is what Paul Akers from FastCap always says, and that's totally what I've been doing this year. Yeah, I got a domino. I was sick of these other dowels that I used, and this is so good. This is the first project I used the domino on, and it works absolutely fantastically. It really saves a ton of time. It makes these slots and you can put dowels in, and the dowels have play left and right. You see the little gaps there, but front to back they don't have any play, and that just makes a perfect flush fit at the end. If you cut the pieces to the right size, of course. Wow, I just went through the video roll and this whole thing took me only 1 hour and 10 minutes. Everything is doweled together except for this seam here and this seam here, because I don't know yet how to align these dominoes. It's so fast, it's crazy. I saved so much time. Absolutely love it, and it's almost ready for the glue up. But I think I'm going to add some kind of fence here and here for the little metal clips. There was a surprising amount of play on this joint, but I think with the dowels underneath it will be sturdy enough. And with the glue, of course, so I'm still learning how to use the domino. And here's another improvement. I built 4 of these little drawers, and they hold all of my spray cans and the glue, and I've got access to them without having to remove all of the other cans. And they don't take up any more space than they used to. So spend maybe 2 hours on that, and it's so much fun, improving the workshop, getting everything dialed in, making everything faster, I really dig this whole lean thing. Oh yeah, these joints were pretty much perfect, especially considering the time that I spent on them. And of course I'm adding some wheels. I still have some left over from the batch of 200 that I bought a few years ago. And these are easy to fit on if you have one of these very long bits. I can very much recommend long bits. And having stuff on wheels is really the gold standard for any workshop. It makes life so much easier. And of course I'm putting a round over on everything, so I don't hurt myself while using it, and stuff glides in there easier. It's just the right thing to do. And of course a little bit of paint to make it look nice. It's not really functional, the plywood will never degrade down here in the workshop, but I don't want it to be distracting. I want it to be very clear and I want to be able to see the tools on it. Alright, that's much nicer looking already. So we can put the stuff in there now. Very nice. We can put these in there. Tape, of course, will go here. We're gonna glue this on. I really became a fan of this construction adhesive. It's so easy sometimes. It saves so much time to glue stuff on. And sometimes it's the only solution because I didn't have screws that were long enough for this part right here. So the goal is to put all of the accessories that I need to package a card on the side of this card. And one thing of course is a knife to cut the cling film. And the cling film also has a little compartment where I put it in. And in that compartment I put a piece of foam at the bottom. It's a Kaizen foam, a piece of leftovers, so now I can just drop it in and I don't have to put it down gently. So it absorbs the shock a little bit. And for the scissors, I took some pictures, uploaded them into my CAD software, and then I made a custom holder for them. And with the 3D printer, the cool thing is you can swap out the filament towards the end, and the final layers, it prints out a different color. So everybody knows straight away what it is for, at least here in Germany. Now everything is at hand, you don't have to put it down on the floor, you can just store it up there if you don't use it. And of course you also get the ribbons. And I installed this little caddy that's also 3D printed for some glue stick, tape measure and some Sharpies. So let's try this out on a pallet. This is one of my big pallets that's 2.2 meters long, so I put a ribbon at both ends and some cardboard underneath the edges to protect it. And yeah, if you want to know, these drawer slides are for RVs. So in RVs you need really lightweight drawer slides, at least here in Germany, because we have weight limits, and they need to be pretty long. So that's what I specialized for, and that's what I'm making my money with. So yeah, maybe this helps you and gives you some ideas to build something that makes your life easier, or your work, or your home. My name is Max Maker and I make all kinds of stuff, and I hope I inspired you to make something yourself today. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe, like, comment, and tell me how you improved your workshop. Thanks for watching.